Welcome to Wrong Time Watch. My name is Kevin. Today we're looking at something a little bit different, and we'll be doing the video a little bit differently today. So this is the Mechanical Exploration Watch MS1001 Titanium Edition. MSRP for this watch is $399. I was provided this watch for the video, so I'll mark it as a paid promotion. In the video description, I'll leave a link to this watch and also to their other watches. They have a stainless steel version and I believe an aluminum version, but you can check that information out. And I also leave a link to the instructions for this watch. I do have the instruction manual here. I normally don't have to read the instruction manual, but this is, again, a little bit different of a watch than what I'm used to. I'm used to simple mechanical wristwatches like this Oris Diver 65, for example. So let's go through the specs and then we'll look at the manual here in just a moment. So you can get it with either a leather strap or with this floral rubber strap. We have dual sapphire crystals here for the dual display. I showed this watch to all of my kids and none of them could figure out how to tell the time on it. Actually, the youngest one did finally figure it out after a couple minutes, but so the time here is 4:40, and we have an hour display. We have the minute display, again sapphire crystal, and it kind of looks like a camshaft, so it's kind of automotive inspired. Dual camshafts there, and then these indicators slide up and down, and then once you get to the top, it reverts back to the bottom. You also have a chronograph function. You have a backlight, which I'll demonstrate at the end of the video. And then you can also observe the battery power that's left. And then there's a timer setting. I'll go through all that stuff in a separate video. And also the instruction link will tell you how to do all that as well. So the hours and minute in the minute track here appear to be printed on the back side of the crystal. It's kind of hard to tell, but if we look at it from an extreme angle, I think that's how they've done this. And then there's also some printing up here, which when you tilt it, you can see the printing on top kind of covers up that other printing. So it's pretty neat. Not something you see every day. I'm going to go ahead and activate the backlight right now, actually. And then you can see where the light comes from right there. So you got 3, looks like LEDs in there on both sides for a total of 6. So we do have a crown here. It's kind of it's not really a push-pull crown, it's just a push. You can push it to get into each of those modes. So for the backlight, you just press it once. For the battery indication, you press it twice. And then this here will tell you, okay, so we're at 60%. And then after a couple of seconds, it will revert back. There we go. So back to the time here, 4:45 or 4:43 or whatever, somewhere close to that. All right, so as I mentioned, the hour and minute indices right along these shafts here. It's an electrical movement and it's powered by a rechargeable lithium battery, and that's what these two, not really ports, but they're this little magnetic disc on the back here, and I have the charging cord right here. So the neat thing about this is you can't put it on the wrong way. The polarity of the magnets is reversed, so if I try to put it on upside down, it won't let me stick it on there. So put it on there. Have it plugged into a battery, so let's see if this works. Yeah, so you can see right there we have a green light. So when it's flashing slowly, which it is right now, it's charging. It might look a little weird through the camera, but anyway, that tells you that it's charging. And when it gets down to 20% battery life, a red light will come on, will blink. And then when it gets to 10%, then it will stay on. So it'll tell you when it's time to charge up the battery. So that's a neat feature. So the rubber strap does have the milled titanium hardware. And then the case as well is titanium alloy. And then we do have these 6 screws holding the watch together. Actually, the case back contains the lugs. These are not quick release lugs, and they're kind of fitted to the case, so I don't think you'll necessarily be able to put on aftermarket straps. You may be able to try that. So looking at the case a little closer, you can see we do have flyback engraved in here. Then also the brand name, I guess I would pronounce that Mecexp, since it's for mechanical exploration. And no engraving up there. And then we do have these grooves on the side. So it's a pretty neat looking watch. You have these grooves here, and it again is titanium. So I call it brushed titanium. Water resistance of this watch is unknown. I'll show you what it says in the manual, but I would basically take it to mean hand washing only, no swimming. I wouldn't even want to get caught out in the rain with it, so try to avoid water exposure as much as possible. Going over the dimensions of the watch, lug to lug is 50.4 millimeter, and then case to case here, 44 millimeter, 38 millimeter width, 14.3 thick, 22 millimeter lug width, and the strap does taper down to 20 millimeter, 7.2 millimeter signed crown. That's a cool looking logo, kind of reminds me of Batman. And then this watch weighs in at 84 grams. So let me get this on a wrist. Actually, we'll compare it to my SKX real quick first. Just kind of get you a size reference. It's a rectangular case, so it wears a little bit differently than what you would be expecting. 44 or 50 doesn't sound that big for a lug-to-lug dimension, but it's also 38 millimeters across the top here and the bottom, so it wears a bit differently than your standard watch. SKX is a little bit larger of a watch anyway, but you can kind of get an idea here. And also the thickness, it's a slab-sided case, so you can see that full thickness. It's about a millimeter thicker than my SKX here for reference. Get that off to the side, and then I will show you the manual here in just a moment. I'll spend a second or two on each page, and then you can pause it and read it. I'm not going to read through the whole thing. It does wear comfortably for such a large watch. I guess the dimensions itself aren't large, but again, because it's a rectangular watch, it wears a bit differently than your standard watch. So I have a 6.5 inch wrist, 52 millimeter wristband. You see I'm on the second tightest hole. Also, the buckle is signed here. The strap feels very comfortable. All right, let's go through some of the manual. Like I said, I'll just hold on each page for a couple of seconds. You can pause the video and read each page if you like. The first portion here looks to be in Mandarin, I'm guessing. Then we have the English, and then I don't know what this is, Japanese or Korean, and then I think this is German. So if you want to read this, go ahead, you can pause it. We'll do 2 pages at once. You can pause the video and read those pages. There's the warranty information about the battery replacement. Okay, this is the page I wanted to focus in on. So right here, so the watch is only suitable for daily wear and is waterproof, is not suitable for wearing in the shower, swimming, or diving. So like I said, I would consider it probably 3 or 5 ATM just for hand washing. Some more information there. This would be, well, it's a titanium alloy case. Not entirely sure what that means. I think all titanium is the alloy, but I would assume grade 2 titanium. And then here's what I mentioned briefly too, and then I'll also leave a link to this, but this goes through the methods here, or the different functions. So yeah, I forgot to mention this. If you press and hold the crown for 4 seconds, it'll shut it down to save battery. And then there's the 1 press for the backlight, 2 for the battery display, and then 3 times for the chronograph. This is timing function. I would consider it a chronograph. And then 4 presses to adjust the time. And like I said, I'll have a separate video with that, and, how to do that stuff. So that's all I really wanted to show you through this manual. Let's turn off the lights and check out the backlight. Hopefully this, well, camera kind of already adjusted, but so it's a little bit hard for me to use this in the nighttime mode, but it is usable. You can see there it's about 450 right now. Let's hit this with UV light and see what we can see. So yeah, we do have some lume on that hour and minute hand, but really it's kind of more for looks. You can't really see the hour and minute scale on the watch. So there we go. I think it's a pretty neat watch. Not something you see every day. And that will conclude this video. As always, thank you for your time and thank you for watching.